Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Rebuilding Fulham, and, well, we just need to take a little look at the top of the screen. Just follow my mouse. Yeah, that does say first. That actually says first. And it's the 31st. It's Halloween today, and I am not pulling some horrible joke. We are top of the Premier League. I'm not even shitting you. Now, I'm going to explain how we got to that point, which is kind of what we're here for. And it's been a strange month, in the sense that Fulham just seem to be... I know I said in the last episode we'd create a monster. That monster is Godzilla, and it is destroying Tokyo. And Tokyo is the Premier League in this particular long-winded analogy that I'm going to stop now and actually get into the fixtures. Now, we played Wigan in the first game of the month, and, well, we ripped him a new arsehole. Last year we scraped past Wigan, and it came after a poor run, and they're on the right side. But this year I just felt, with the way we've been at home so far this season, that we were going to absolutely batter them, and that is exactly what we did. We actually went behind in this game, and Ichibi's goal early on was very, very quickly cancelled out by Martin Odegaard, who of course is in fantastic goal scoring form. Things then got slightly better when Effie Ambrose popped up from a corner and headed us 2-1 up. At this point, things were good. Things were very good. Then Jesper Julsgaard popped up with a goal to make it 3-1, and his goal was basically a cross. A mishit cross, went into the net. And then 3 minutes later, Matroglu stepped in, and it was 4-1 at half-time. And we just seem to be kind of like Liverpool were in the Premier League in real life last season. We just seem to blitz teams early on, and they have no way to respond to it. The only problem I've found in games is when we don't get those early goals. That's when things start to get a bit more tetchy. Second half's not really our thing. Not always. It can be, though. It's just most of the time, first halves is where the majority of our goals are. In fact, I'm going to see if I can find a statistic or an analysis thing that will actually show you that, because I'm fairly certain we scored loads in the first half. Yeah, next, Andy Weimann actually did get one back for Wigan to make it 4-2, and I thought, well, okay, it could be worse. But then Effie Ambrose, once again, he is having the season of his life. Scored another one. When you consider how inconsistent he was at times last season, this year he has been solid as a rock at the back, and a genuine threat from set pieces. Brilliant. Much better than Dan Burn in that respect. Burn's yet to find the net for us this season, I think. But Effie Ambrose, I think that's 4 he's got for us already, in the league, that is. Then we had Everton at home. Now, last season, if you remember, we lost to Everton on the opening day of the season. It was only 2-1, but it set off, and that was only one of 3 home defeats we had all last season. And we're, of course, yet to lose at home this year either. And I really do want to see if we can carry along that streak, and we've certainly improved things. Now, obviously, we got a little bit of luck early on when Seamus Coleman put through his own net. That has to be said. It was a poor goal, but we were massively dominant. 22 shots, 11 on target. We did get a goal of our own through Kacaniklic, great finish. And then before half-time, it was 3-0 when Neven Subotic put through his own net. That was a really, really unlucky one. Larson, I think it was, had a shot, bounced off the post. Subotic sliced it into his own net. Brilliant. More of that, please. That's some... Yeah. That's the sort of thing that Adil Chihi would have done for us in the Championship. But that put us 3-0 up at half-time. Drogba did get one back for Everton, but thankfully Kacaniklic was on hand to make it 4-1 soon after, and made it very, very comfortable. And that was yet another game where we'd scored 4+ goals. Fantastic. Then we went away to Southampton, who are struggling a bit this year. It has to be said. But 3-0 away from home at Southampton. This one wasn't as easy as the scoreline might make it look. We were definitely better than them. However, we had a very strange game. We scored just on the stroke of half-time in this one. Jules scored again with a mishit cross. Oh, no, it wasn't. No, it wasn't a cross. I take that back. It was a brilliant free kick on the stroke of half-time to put us in front. And then Emil Larsson did actually manage to make it 2. Which was surprising because they were really starting to come at us at that point, and I did not see what happened next coming. Frank Lampard was sent off for a 2-footed lunge, and then very soon after that, Dani Osvaldo was also sent off for a 2-footed lunge, which meant that we ended up playing the final 10 minutes of the game against 9 men, and in that time, Andrea Lucci was able to score direct from a corner. Well, sorry, Julsgaard's ball went in and Lucci just controlled it and then in the net. Great. And then, of course, Wanyama was injured later on as well, which meant Southampton actually finished that game with 8 men. So, a little bit unlucky, you could possibly say. But we'll take it. And that was another win in a row. That's ridiculous. Look at this. We defeated West Brom, Newcastle win, Bournemouth win, Wigan win, Everton win, Southampton win. we were on a good little run in the league. It was 5 straight league wins. Now, we had a midweek game away at QPR in the Carling Cup. We're already to where we were supposed to be, so I decided to play a slightly weakened side. And to be honest, I was a bit pissed in this one because we actually should have won this. Yulsgaard put us in front not long before half-time from a free kick, as he seems to be doing lately. He's really starting to put some effort in. Yulsgaard has been absurdly good this year. It's amazing. Yulsgaard has been amazing. Like, he was a bit weak at the start of his career at Fulham. Then he came into his own towards the end of our season in the Championship and was excellent. Last year, again, same story. He was really quite poor to begin with, and then he kind of found himself in the last couple of games of the season. This year, he's back to that old self. He is brilliant. Unfortunately, just before that, in fact, the free kick was caused by Craig Dawson getting sent off, and we scored from it. 1-0 up against 10 men. I thought, brilliant, we don't need to really do much. But then Stephen Colker managed to equalise, and then Iago Aspas put them in front. We couldn't do much about it, and we're out. It's a shame, but what I really wanted was to win there in the league. And as you can see, we went straight back to Loftus Road a few days later and came up with the goods. It was a tough one. They made us work for this one. We were definitely better on the day, but they definitely made us work for this. McDonald Moriga headed us in front before Chris Brunt equalised midway through the second half. Unfortunately for them, Kostas Mitroglou, who is now starting to find a goal or two, managed to pop up for us and score the winner late on. And all this gave us our 6th straight league victory. That has to be a record for Fulham in the Premier League. There's no way in hell it isn't. And that leaves us here. Top. 2 points clear at the top, I should point out. We've got the best goal difference in the league. We obviously don't have a top scorer because Eden Hazard's managed to net 12 times for Chelsea already this season, which is absurd. Yulsgaard is the top assister in the Premier League, though, with 7. And Emil Larsson has 6. Yulsgaard is the second best player average overall in the league. And Ambrose is up there as well. We've got goals from all over the pitch, and that is the main reason for that. Just look at our home form. That is the key for us. 5 wins out of 5 at home, 21 goals scored, plus 15 goal difference. We are crazy good at home. Away from home, our record isn't that bad either. In fact, our away record is also the best in the league. That's mental. Obviously, it's not quite so pronounced, but that's so good. Obviously, we've got some tougher away games coming up soon, though, and we will talk about that in a sec. In fact, let's go and have a look at those fixtures now before we take a look at the stats. We have Spurs at home, which is a game that I'd like to see us win because it's Spurs. We beat them last year, so I feel that with the way we're playing at the moment and our home form, we should be able to get the win in that one. Manchester City away. As much as we've been playing well, City away last year we got thumped 5-1, and that wasn't even that far close towards it. That was quite close towards the end of the season. So yeah, in fact, I think that might have been our one little blip in our final little run-in when we won 8 out of 9. I think the one blip was the 5-1 defeat at Manchester City. Let's just have a little look here, actually. I'm curious to see if that was the game. No, it was the game at Hull. What am I talking about? City was much earlier than that. In fact, it was here. So, yeah, that was total bollocks. But I still don't think there's any chance of getting anything out of that game. They will steamroller us. They're an amazing side at home. Last season, they went unbeaten at home, and I'm certain they're probably unbeaten at home already this year. But I'll just check that. Are City unbeaten at home this season? What we're doing, current record. Home record, Manchester City. No, they've actually lost a game at home already, although they have still, as you can see, scored plenty of goals. So maybe they are fallible. Who knows? It seems unlikely, though. We then have the only other game that month, Aston Villa at home. That home banker it's got to be. We need to win that game. I'm getting a bit more high on the expectations, but the fact is, with the way we're playing, we've got 25 points from 10 games. If we, obviously we're not going to carry on with form like this, I would feel that we're going to drop off at some point. But conceivably, depending on how the cups go, we could maybe get into 6th place and get into Europe, and that's the key. Maybe even 4th. It just depends on how the league goes. 6th place is my aim for this year, although obviously we only have to finish in mid-table according to the board. I will take that because we are definitely going to finish much, much higher than that unless some giant injury crisis hits us. We're still missing Costas Fortounis, remember? So we've got players to come back into this team. That's worrying for everyone else. Goal difference is absurd. I think we can finish in the top 6, maybe even top 4. 5th would be excellent because that would guarantee us European football. 6th, still a bit debatable. The cups would have to fall in a certain way for us to qualify for Europe from that. And in fact, we could technically finish 7th and qualify for Europe, but I don't think that's going to happen. There've been teams, odd ones, winning the League Cup and the FA Cup lately, so I wouldn't be surprised if someone like Newcastle or a Liverpool or a Villa won those or something, or Stoke, to get into those European spots ahead of us on that. So we need to try and make sure our league form is that. I don't know if finishing in the Champions League would be so good for us in our first like this, because it would be a little bit maybe too much of a step up, and it could cost us next year. Maybe Europa League, then Champions League, who knows. But it would be good to play in the Champions League with Fulham, especially since the series may not be able to go on for much longer with the impending release of Football Manager 15. Now, let's take a look at the stats before we move on to the next... Well, before we say goodbye. Anyway, this season, top appearance maker, Jesper Julsgaard. He hasn't got sent off once, and that is a lovely thing to see, because he was sent off 3 times in the league last year, which is piss poor. Top goal scorer, Thomas Drager, with 5. But then look, Odegaard, Mitroglou, Larson, and Julsgaard, of all people, have 4 each. That's fantastic. Ambrose, Kacaniklic have 2 each. Lots and lots of goals in this team. Top assister, though, no denying that. Julsgaard. But Larson also has 6. Such great ability on that wing. Effie Ambrose is the top player of the match winner at the moment. Now, you might notice that Thomas Drager has only he's only started 5 games and 5 substitute appearances. This is because I've been trying out Odegaard in the middle, unfortunately in Drager's position, because he's just so unstoppable at the moment. And Drager's mostly been replacing off the bench, but Odegaard's young, he needs a rest, so we are going to probably rest him for a few games. So Drager probably will get back into the team, and as you can see in the games he's played, he's been excellent. So he does deserve his place. It's just hard because we've got so many quality players in those areas. Top pass record, well, Marigo with 84 really is probably about right, but Zuccolini as well isn't bad either. Average rating, well, no surprise that Julsgaard is up there, but Ambrose is quite quickly in behind him. But also Trippier and Dan Burn. Our defence, look at that. Our best players are our defenders. In a team that has been attacking and winning games by so many goals, our best players, on average, are our defenders. And that says a lot about the way we're building from the back. Brilliant to see. And that is about that. Now, we've only got 3 games in the next month, so it's probably going to be quite a short episode. But that's just the way it's going to have to be, isn't it? Anyway, if you like what you've seen, hit the like button. If you'd like to do even more than that, hit the subscribe button. And until next time, bye-bye.